Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of SnowRunner. We carry on our mini marathon of SnowRunner this week with the drilling stuff delivery for Morris Mining. We should be able to get all of Morris Mining completed by the end of this week. This is the next mission in the list, as you can see there, so it requires us to pick stuff up from the airfield, drive all the way through White Valley, all the way back to Northport, the beginning region of Alaska, which we haven't been to in such a long time. So I'm looking forward to getting back there and deliver this large container off to the drilling site. Now let's hopefully not take a wrong turn. This is a 4 unit cargo piece, so it's requires the banana barge, as I've decided to call it now. If we could just get through the snow. I'm really tempted to get the all-wheel drive upgrade for this truck, because it's really bad off-road. As you can see, we are 90 seconds in and we've already had to use the winch. But most of this journey will take place on roads where this truck doesn't really do that much better, because the roads are just so icy. And I imagine this cargo has quite a bit of weight to it. It's some kind of drilling equipment we're taking, but it's in a container, so I can imagine at least the containers that I've personally had dealings with in the past have been up to 68 tons. So quite heavy, potentially that heavy. I don't think this game actually tells you. If it does, I've never noticed before, so let me know in the comments if there's a way to find out how much weight there is in your cargo. It'd be interesting to know. We will probably need a gas station, but that one is a bit premature. We'll drive straight on past that one. We'll get another one further along in our relatively long journey. But luckily the tunnel that we are going to will take us straight to Northport. Double check that we are indeed going the right way. I believe we are. Yeah, we just want to follow the road all the way up to there. So if we're turning off this road, it's the wrong direction. I'm going to spend a lot of my time trying to avoid those crash barriers, because the tiniest little tap to those barriers can absolutely wreck your truck. Don't ask me how I know that. I say it's a long journey. This leg of the journey to Northport isn't too bad. In Northport, we're going about halfway through it. And most of the Northport journey will be on these ice roads, with some muddy parts to contend with, some particularly difficult parts to contend with, if I can remember rightly where we're actually going when we get there, which will make this journey somewhat interesting. That's a pole, and that is exactly why we have that great big bull bar on the front, because I like to use the front of the truck as a brake. I've got to struggle to get up this hill now that I've lost all my momentum, but we will get there. It will make it up this hill. We know it will, because we did it just 2 episodes ago. There we are, just a bit of speed and we're laughing. This area to the right is where the Derry Longhorn went off the road, and we spent far too long trying to recover that. It is a truck that we will be using this week as well, but not in this episode. It will be in one of the other episodes. But in this episode, it's the banana barge we're using. Let me know in the comments as well. If you're doing large cargo like this, do you prefer to use this truck or one of the alternative trucks that have 4 cargo? Do you use modded trucks, which I am not using any modded trucks in this playthrough? Or do you prefer to use the trucks, the trailers that take 4 cargo? I haven't used one of them in such a long time because I have this great big behemoth of a truck, and this is just my personal choice. I do like struggling with this truck. As infuriating as it can be, 90% of the time it is still an awesome truck to have. This, of course, is the tunnel that we opened up just a few episodes ago. So this will take us straight to Northport, so we don't have to go through any other regions to get back to this area. If I have a look here, we need to take this all the way down here, and I don't think there's really an easy way to do that. I think we'll go to there, and just sort of try and get through all of that. Otherwise we have to go all the way around, which I'd rather not. We might have plenty of fuel to do this, we should have. I don't even think I have any trucks left in the garage down here at Northport now, so that's something that we'll have to take into consideration. But hopefully we don't need a service vehicle. I'd be surprised if we do. We should be absolutely fine. The first leg of the journey is going to be on the icy roads, which I might be wrong in this, but I find the roads in Northport to be less slidey than they are in the other regions. Let me know in the comments if that's just my imagination or if there is actually some sort of truth to that almost. But these roads just don't seem as inhospitable. They're still slidey, but they're nowhere near, they don't feel anywhere near as slidey. Here we are coming up on our first turn, and this will take us onto our first dirt track. Or in the case of this truck, near our first dirt track. I don't actually think I'd be able to do a U-turn with this truck, even on the airfield. I think its turn circle is that big that the airfield isn't wide enough. If we got unstuck again, of course we have. And that's a bit of a dangerous maneuver to do. There we are. Now another 35-point turn to get around this slight corner, and we'll be almost on the road to our destination. This road I think is going to be the most challenging one out of them all so far, just simply because it seems to be the most narrow. might struggle to make some of the corners with such a large vehicle here. But I'm sure we'll manage one way or another. Wait. Yeah, I thought that would happen. We're going to get stuck again. That's the downside to the rear wheels being so far behind the front wheels and being the only drive wheels. Let's not tip over. It's tactical use of the winch there. The road is completely snowed over here. Once again, we've somehow managed to get ourselves stuck in a tiny little puddle. Alright, let's double check here, make sure we're still going the right way. Yeah, we'll just carry on round to the right. So far, it's been challenging, but perfectly passable. Which is exactly what we want to see. Is that the way I'm going? It is. I'm going to be a long way off of the road. Might get ourselves reached there. No, we managed just fine. Some horrible angles we're putting this truck at. I don't even know where the road is at this point. That's not going to serve me very well. Let's... There we are. That's the one I wanted. I'm sure there's definitely easier ways to do this. To try and get the front of the truck out of there. There we are. Bit of perseverance and we make it in the end. Probably dug quite the mine with those back wheels there. That's where things are going to get tricky with a quite steep drop off at the side of the road. Our back wheels are definitely going to fall into. Let's see if I do that. I might be able to save it to an extent. We've lost the cargo. Saved the truck, but we have lost the cargo. And we don't have crane on this truck, which means I'm going to have to put a crane onto a truck and somehow load these two together. But I'll get that sorted and I'll bring you guys back once we're down here with a crane. Okay, we're here, and I've never actually used a crane, if I'm being completely honest, so this will be interesting. Let's see. That's the one I want. Try and lift it. Swing it across, preferably without ripping the cab off the Tiger. Slowly rotate it. Hopefully this actually reaches. Let's see if we can change trucks and possible to pack cargo. Okay. Let's see here. Let's restore the crane. See if we can get up alongside without falling down the cliff. This road was, I don't know why, for the life of me, I decided to pick this road because even the ever capable Tiger is really struggling with this road, as you can see. Let's see if we can just kind of pull that back over, hopefully. Oh. There we are. Let's. Yes, this is quite the task. Let's see if that's enough that we can turn on the beacons for a start and pack cargo. Yes. And we have the taiga nearby for the next time that we need to recover the cargo. But that's the first time I've ever used the larger of the cranes. I've used the smaller cranes before, but it's been literal years since I last did that. So that was fun and challenging. We're now back on the go, and that over there is actually where we're going, so we're really close. But I cannot believe that I chose to go this road with this truck when even the Taiga, which up until very recently was my most capable truck, had such a hard time even getting to where this truck was. Which just shows you this truck might be a giant banana barge, but it is quite capable, even if it is an absolute pain in the backside at times. Its biggest downfall for this truck is the fact that it's rear-wheel drive. If it was all-wheel drive, it would be 10 million times better. Like in situations like that where the back wheels are stuck, the front wheels would take over. Am I going to make it around here? Of course I'm not. I'm going to make it around here in a semi-reasonable fashion. Preferably without tipping over again. There we are. This has probably been the most difficult job I've done yet, just purely because of my poor decisions. Although I'm not convinced that the other road into this drilling site is much better. But there we are. An entire in-game day later, we have arrived at the drilling site with one drilling equipment. Almost $6,000 for that one. That's absolutely outstanding. But with that job being done, that is all that I had planned for this episode. In the next episode, we will be doing another one of these Morrison mining contracts. Probably this one. Medium pipes that come all the way from the warehouse. That's a long way to go, but I'm sure we'll manage just fine with that. But that is all for this one. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, you can of course subscribe. You can also ring the bell icon as well. You can also join me over on Discord. That's also where you'll find all the information and bits and pieces about the special photo of the week competition we're running this month, where you can win the $50 Steam gift card and, more importantly, the epic bragging rights. And I'll be back with the next episode tomorrow when we continue our mini marathon of SnowRunner. I'll see you guys there. Bye for now.